Hi everyone, so we're going to go over the system for electronic timesheets for hourlies from an approver's standpoint. We've got a separate video for reviewers, but I did want to give you a brief overview of what the differences are between reviewers and approvers. We did set up two different roles. So if you are an approver of a budget and you have assistants who you rely on to look at timesheets, both of you can actually review timesheets, assign time for split funded positions, and return timesheets for corrections. However, the people assisting you will be able to only submit the timesheets for your approval. You, as the approver, would then have to go in and approve the timesheets to submit to payroll. That would be the difference between those two roles. So if you have been designated as an approver or a reviewer, you did get an intro email from us that indicated for the different orgs, who the approvers and the reviewers are, so you're aware of that. And there's a link in the email that gets you to the online timesheet system. So if you click in there, you get to the launch page. Everybody launches from the same page, whether you are putting in the time or you're reviewing the time. So if you go in and log in, I've already got a login here. We'll use Ivy as an example. We've set her up as the approver for this budget. We've tried to cover up any confidential information. But you can see in the upper right-hand side of the page, these are where the guides are. So if you were an hourly staff, you could look at the user guides that are up there for reference, as well as if you're an approver or a reviewer, we've put a guide together with some screenshots to help guide you through it. And we'll be updating that as things change in the system as well. So if we click over to the left, that's where the boxes are for you to get to the approval section. You click on that approval link, and it gets you to the page that shows you all the timesheets that are sitting waiting. Either somebody started a timesheet, which is what the pending status means, or one of your reviewers may have reviewed this timesheet and that's why it's been submitted for approval, or you might have timesheets that nobody's looked at yet, and these would have to be reviewed in detail. So in this example, Justin has been reviewed. That time was reviewed by the assistant. We had Danielle set up as an assistant. She reviewed it, made any corrections, and then finally submitted it for approval, felt that it was accurate. At that point, if you were relying on that information, you could go into Justin's time, and your button, which says Approve Timesheet, is available, and you could hit Approve Timesheet, and that timesheet would be approved. If you wanted to make any changes, again, you can. If you felt that those reported hours were incorrect, you knew that Justin had been out one day, you could change the sick hours, and making sure that these totaled together to be the same total number of hours that were reported. If the position was split funded and you didn't think that the split between the two different budget numbers was correct, you could also make the change there as well and update the distributed hours and then approve the timesheet. Again, if something was just wrong and you needed the time to be corrected, you could return for correction and it would start the process back to Justin and return it back to you. So let's say in this situation, we felt that Danielle had done a good enough job. She probably knew the time. She reviewed it. You're relying on that. The time can be approved for submission to payroll. So you're going to click on the Approved Timesheet button, and then you will be taken back to the list, and it'll tell you that this timesheet has been approved. And the status has been changed to approved, and that means it's been submitted to payroll. And you still have one timesheet that has been submitted but has not yet been reviewed. So we're going to use that as the next example to go through to see what you would do if you were going to go ahead and review a timesheet, and then what happens then. Because when you quote unquote approve it, you're also reviewing and approving at the same time. And this is how you know the differences between the different times that are available. So you click on Alexis, you get to this page. Again, the same thing. You're going to see the positions that are in Banner for Alexis. If there's any problems with that, you will contact HR to get those updated and corrected, because that's what's in Banner. And that's where her time will get posted to. The hours that she submitted, whether it's regular or sick, if she has any available. And you can go through and look at all of the different time to review that in detail as well. So you can go ahead and scroll up and down. You can see there's a list view that tells you what hours were reported and what categories. So for example, this is regular work. If there was sick time, there would be sick written there. The date and the ins and outs and how much that equals out to. We also have offered additional views down below. So we do have a calendar view. Let me just make that a little bit bigger. We have a calendar view that shows you by month, and you can see the different months that are available for time that's been submitted, as well as if you preferred a week view, a day view, you can just scroll to the appropriate time that you're reviewing, and a list view. For each of the calendar versions, if you hover over, you'll be able to see how many hours have been reported. For example, on this date, Alexis reported that she worked on October 2nd, 4 hours from 8 to 12, took a lunch break, and then came back and worked from 12:30 to 3. In the list view, it gives you the similar information just in a vertical view. So you've got the day of the week, Monday, she worked 4 hours, 8 to 12. And I actually like this view because I don't have to hover too much for that. So let's say everything looks good to me and I'm happy with this. I can scroll back up and I would go ahead and approve this timesheet. That would then, again, take this timesheet into payroll and it would be submitted. And as long as these hours are correct, it will let me do that. If I try to change this and forget to fix something, it should tell me no. So it distributed the hours, but it says, no, you cannot approve this. And my approval button has now disappeared because I can't approve it with 13 not being equal to 15. And even I can do this math, which I can't do math in my head. So that's one of those things that helps us to see that. So I have to fix that and say, oh, no, wait, Alexis, wasn't sick. I was wrong, or her regular hours are correct. And so you can see the approval button has come back. I can approve that timesheet. And now that timesheet is also showing as approved and submitted to payroll. So that's the essence of the electronic timesheets from an approver standpoint. If you're a reviewer or an approver and you have questions, just email bbates@noccccd.edu. B, our payroll manager, will get back to you and help you get through any issues that you're having. And we do thank you sincerely for your assistance and patience with our process. We have been trying to get this process going for a long time. We're really excited to be able to offer you the electronic timesheets for hourlies. And we believe it is a system that's been worked on with campus personnel and district personnel to the benefit of everybody. So thank you for your patience. If you have any additional needs in the system, you're requiring something in the system that it doesn't currently do, we are continuing to try to add features that are necessary for a variety of people. So you're also welcome to email B with that request. Like, for example, the reviewer approval roles were something that we were able to add. We don't have the ability to add a ton of stuff, but we do have the ability to address some major issues that may come across. So you are welcome to send us that information. We will try to incorporate as much as we can as the days go by. And thank you very much, and good luck with getting this going.